So once again, very good day to everybody present here. Today's class we discuss much more about HTML tables as well as forms. So this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers. And you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, let me thank God for giving me this golden opportunity to deliver this useful session to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students and young researchers. So this is what we are going to discuss in today's session. We are going to have a short introduction about tables, about the table headings, and then we discuss about the examples to tables. And in the second part of today's class, we discuss about forms. We have a short introduction about forms and why you need forms and about the various form controls, how actually form works, and then we discuss about the structure of forms, and then we discuss about the input, text area, radio button as well as checkbox. Then we discuss about the drop down list box. Where do you find drop down list box in website? Where do you find drop down list box in website?
Just click the right bottom of the mouse. That's right.
Okay. What else? Any other example where you find a drop down list box? Which country do you live? India, Algeria. You select the country. Okay, that is a drop down list box where you have a list of items and you select one among the above. Okay, and then you have submit button also, that also we will see, and then we will have some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Right, so this is a short introduction to tables. There are different types of information that needs to be displayed. Normally you can display this as a grid, maybe as a rows or maybe columns, or maybe as a table also. For example, you can have like sports results, stock reports, share reports, timetables about train. Okay, that you can have them. For that you can use tables. Whatever is displayed as rows and then columns, it is tables. So whenever you represent this information in a table, you have to represent it as a grid. Okay, nothing but as rows and columns. Okay, so it is just like a spreadsheet. See, you have the items, you have something in the column and then you have something in the row. Okay, and then you have a big table. Okay, so this is how the spreadsheet or maybe table looks like. Maybe in the newspaper, maybe in a pamphlet, maybe in your brochure, you will have like rows as well as columns. Right, so this is a table. So in the table you will have information in a grid format. We will have like financial reports, TV schedules, sports results, everything is represented in the form of table. So in each block you call it as a cell. Okay, that you call it to be the table cell. So it is maybe written like row one after the another. For example, if you go through your TV channel, okay, everything is represented as a row. If you go through the settings, that satellite system inside the TV, then you will have different channels. Channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Yeah, with the row. Everything will be having frequency, this particular frequency. Channel number is this one. You will be having row one after the another. Okay, similarly, this is with the case of the share market. You have seen this one with regards to each of the company shares. Maybe Suzlon or maybe Tata or maybe IBM, NSE, BSE things. You have something like change, open, high, low, one time low, all time high. Everything is being displayed as raw format. Okay, and similarly the details about that, like energy, metal, grain, oil seeds, soft, livestock, everything is displayed as rows. Similarly in the right hand side, if you see, it is displayed in the form of table. So for this you need a HTML code to display these codes. Okay. So this is a basic table structure where we will tend to use table element. So for creating a table, you will use the table element. So you write the contents like row after row, okay, one after another. And then you have tr, okay. Tr stands for table row, okay. So we will have like open tr tag and then close tr tag. Within that we will have like td element, okay. We will have table data, okay. Td is nothing but table data, tr is nothing but table row. So within the table row you will have table data, that is one for each cell in that row. And then this table data you will have like td open as well as td close, okay. So some browsers automatically draw lines around the table. Sometimes you will have only an empty table, okay. Sometimes it will draw borders along the tables. So this is an example of table. Look into it very carefully. So you start with the table tag, you end with the table tag. Okay. You start with a tr tag, you end with a tr tag. Within that you have table data. What is the table data? 15, 15, 30.
Yes, table data inside the table row.
Inside the table row. Okay. So 15, 15, 30. Okay. And then 45, 60, 45. 60, 90, 90. So 15, 15, 30. 15, 15, 30. Next row. What is next row? 45, 60, 45. 45, 60, 45. Similarly, what is the next row? 60, 90, 90. 60, 90, 90. Okay. So there is th element also, just like td. Th stands for table heading. Th stands for table heading. Okay. Even if the cell has no content, you should still use td, okay, or maybe th to represent the presence of the empty cell. So if it has no element also, you have to definitely use td or th just to show it as an empty cell, okay. So in the first cell in the first row of this example shows an empty cell. So we'll see an example. Also with the case of th, you tend to use scope attribute also. So within the th element you use the scope attribute to indicate that is the heading for the particular column or maybe for the particular row, okay. So you can take the values, for example row, to indicate the heading for a row, or maybe col is nothing but the heading for that particular column, okay. For example, if you have like name of the student and then age of the student, name is actually the heading, age is actually the heading, okay. For that row you tend to use row, and for column you use col, okay. So that is the thing. We'll consider an example. See, we start with a table, we end with a table. We start with a table row, we end with a table row. Okay, within that you have th. Okay, th. It is not th. You start with a th, immediately you close with a th. Okay, what is the meaning?
Yes.
You start with a th. Okay, see, you start with a th. At the top you see, you start with a th. Immediately you end with a th. What is the meaning? It's an empty cell. It's an empty cell. But you have to include it. Okay. That is the reason I told you now. Whenever you have an empty cell, you do it with a td and then close td, or maybe th and then close th, just to indicate that it is a empty cell. This one empty cell. Okay, so for that th and then close th, and then you have th scope. Scope is nothing but col. What it is meaning? What is the meaning of this one? Th scope col.
Yes.
What is the meaning of th scope col? Don't know? It is nothing but the column heading. Column heading. Okay, you remember? th, you include the scope attribute to indicate whether it is the heading for a column or row. Okay, okay. So that is the reason this Saturday is displayed as bold. It is the column heading. Okay, right. Similarly, th scope column Sunday. What is the meaning?
Just in the column. In the column scope, we Sunday just.
It is the heading, column heading. Okay, column heading. Saturday and Sunday are nothing but the column heading. Okay.
Scope row is the row heading. It's just with the.
Whenever we go for ROW, it is row heading. Okay. So TH scope column means it is column heading. It is Sunday. Okay. You close the table row. Now again you start with another table row. So next row. Okay. Now TH scope row. What is the meaning of TH scope row?
To enter some bolt.
Row heading. Row heading. Okay. What is the row heading? Tickets sold. Okay. Then you close the TH. Now again table data 120. What is the table data 120? That is one element. Okay. 120. Okay. And then TD 135. What is this one? Another one thing 135. Okay. And then you close the TR. Then again you open the table row. That is another row. Okay. What is this TH scope row?
Another row heading.
Row heading. Okay. What is the row heading? Total sales. Okay. Another TD. What is the TD 600?
Cost of
one element $600. Another thing $675. That is also another element. Okay. Now you close the table row and close the table. Okay. This is all about table headings. So this is a complete example of tables. Okay. So you have HTML, head, title. What is the title? Tables. Where you find the tables?
Just
browser window top. Tables. You close the head and then body. Within the body you have table. So which means you are forming a table. Okay. Then you have the head. Okay. TR and then you have TH. TH immediately followed by TH means it's a empty element. Okay, empty element. TH scope column. What is the meaning of TH scope column? Column heading. Home starter hosting. Okay. TH scope column. Once again, column heading. Premium business hosting. Okay. You close the TR, close the head, and then you start with the body. T body. You have the TR. You have the TH scope row. What is the TH scope row? Row heading. It is disk space. Okay. And then you have table data, which is one element 25 OMB. Okay. And then you have table data once again 1 GB. Okay. You close the TR. Once again you open the TR. TH scope row. It is the row heading. Okay. Bandwidth. Table data 5 GB per month. 50 GB per month. Okay. You close the TR and then more rows like you do that, and then you close T body. Then you have T foot. That's a footer. Okay. You have the table row. Table data, close table data, that's an empty thing. Table data, column span. Okay, you are going to go for the column that's a width that you are specifying. Sign up now and save 10%. Okay, then you close the TR, close the T foot, close the table, close the body, and you close the HTML. So this is the thing you are going to get. Okay, this is the column heading, this is the row heading. For each of the thing you display. Okay, and this is the footer. Sign up now and save 10%. That is the footer. You remember tables. In the browser window you have tables. Browser window heading. Title. Okay. So this is the second part of today's class. Generally, when speaking of forms, whenever you talk about forms, which means you have to get some input from the user. Okay. So where do you use forms? Where do you use forms? You go to a hospital to book an appointment. You have fever. You go to hospital. You have fever. You fill a form. Name, age. What problem? Fever. What problem? COVID. Right? No. Form. Anything and everything needs forms. User input. They get the user input and they type it. For anything and everything here, you need forms. So for this case, HTML uses the concept of form to refer to different elements where you will be collecting information for the visitors, and generally for collecting the data for the user, generally it uses forms. So this is how the form goes. Whenever you have a account in your Facebook, whenever you have an account in Instagram, what it requires: email ID,
Email ID,
name,
your name, maybe
password,
password,
repeat password. Hmm. Okay, and then your review. How did you hear about us? Google, our website, our newspaper, whatever may be the thing. Would you like to visit again? Yes, no, maybe. You can go for a checkbox, and then you have a comment section. Yes, I like this one. You can do that. Okay, and then you can go for sign me up for email updates. If you check on this one, you'll be getting the email updates. You can go for submit review. Submit review. Okay. So why forms? So generally, whenever you take in the case of forms, even Google's search engine is also a form. Whatever you type, it will show you. Okay, so you will see forms when registering as a member of the website, when you go for online shopping, whenever you go for creating any app, for example, in the case of bank, in the case of mobile banking, you go for app. Okay, that also is one of the forms. You enter the name, mobile number, then OTP comes to your mobile, then you verify everything. Okay, so whenever you sign up for any newsletters, or maybe whenever you sign for any mailing list, then it's a form. Okay, so these are the form controls where you tend to add several text. Also with the case of text input, we will have like single line input. Okay, and we tend to use like passwords like single line. Okay, and then you have a text area where you enter your comments. You can also make your choices using the radio button, but the only difference is that with the case of radio button, you can choose only one option.
not towards me.
Select your gender, male, female. You cannot select both. You have to select only one. Okay, and then check boxes. When a user can select and unselect one or more options, you can select more than one option. Okay, iTunes, last.fm, Spotify. Okay, and then you have a drop down box. Which is your country? You can select any one of the country. Submitting forms, like you have submit button, or maybe create account. After you enter all the details, create account. Then, or maybe sign up button, sign up. You enter the name, password, repeat password, and then you click on sign up. Okay, or maybe you click on name, password, and then click on login button. That also is a submitting form. And then you have image button also, subscribe. It displays it as a image. If you click on this one, it subscribes. And then uploading files. If I click on this browse, immediately it will go to that local computer, C folder or D folder or E folder, it goes. Okay, so this is uploading files. Okay, you click on this upload finally. So these are the several types of form controls. So generally the user fills in the form and then presses a button to submit the information to the server. So the user name, and then I vote for, this is actually a radio button. Okay, and then you go for submit. Finally, after clicking on the submit, it will show thank you Ivy, you voted for Herbie Hancock. Okay, so it displays in this way. So this is how actually forms work. So the form can have several form controls. So it will be having like name, which is the username, and then this is the value. Okay, so the username is the Ivy and vote is actually the Herbie Hancock. Okay, right. So if the form control allows the user to enter the text, then the value of the form control is whatever the user has typed in. Okay, and the vote is actually that option the particular user has selected. Okay. So this is the structure of the form where we will have like form. Okay, the form tag. Okay, so within that we will have like action. form action is equal to, this is the website it is going to, okay, like www.example.com/subscribe.php, method equal to get. Okay, so we have a paragraph tag. This is where the form controls will appear. Okay, and then you close the paragraph tag and you close the form. So this is what it displays. This is where the form controls will appear. So here we will have like action attribute as well as method attribute. So the action attribute, we will have like a value for the page that will be receiving the user input, and then with the case of method, it will be having like get or maybe post. Get means you are getting the value from the user. That is nothing but the user input. So you will have like short forms such as the search boxes, and you can retrieve the information from the web server also. With the case of the post method, the values are sent through the HTTP headers, and generally maybe you can use it maybe for clicking on the browse button or maybe clicking on the upload. You can do so. Okay, and it is also very long also. Okay, and also just like action and method, you have the ID attribute. So it is nothing but the location where it is going to point to. Okay, so attribute is nothing but that the script that it is going to point to. I'll tell you with an example. So we'll have like input also. So form action, that's the website example.com/login, and then paragraph tag, it is username. Okay, input type is equal to text, name is actually a username, size is actually 15, maximum length is equal to 30. Did you understand with this tags?
Yeah.
What is this one?
Yes.
It is all about the type what you are typing.
Yes.
Okay, text. You can type only text. You cannot enter any numbers also. Name is actually username. Ivy, Johan, Mohammed, anything you can enter. But the size, the minimum size is actually 15. You cannot enter more than minimum 15, and then maximum is actually 30. More than 30 it cannot have. Okay, right? And then you have the size attribute as well, as I told you. So size as attribute should not be used on new forms. In the older forms you can use it. Maybe a value of 3 would create a box wide enough. So that is the thing that you are going to do. Okay, and then you have the type as well as the text. You can have the name, and you can have the maximum length also to limit the number of characters a user can enter into the text field. So minimum length, maximum length, that also you can specify. And then you have the text area. So you have the form action example.com/comments. What did you think of this gig? So this is actually a paragraph. Okay, and then the text area, name is actually comments.
To enter some comments.
Yeah, comments.
Right.
The name is actually comments. Column is actually 20. Rows is actually 4. What is the meaning?
Yes, we can write up to some 20 rows, 20 columns with 4 rows.
This is actually the size of the text box.
Yes,
size of the text box.
Yes.
This is actually, column is actually 20 breadth. Okay, rows actually 4. So you can enter up to 4 only. Okay, after that you cannot enter. It will have the maximum limit. Okay, enter your comments and then /text area, and then you go with the /form. Okay, so this is the text area attribute. You should, maybe you can use CSS to control the width and the height of the text area. Okay, so whatever you do, that you can include within the text area tag and then close text area tag. Okay, and then you can use the radio button also. So the type is actually the radio. Okay, you can have the name attribute, which is nothing but the name that you provide for the radio button, and then you have like value also. So the value which is being sent to the user for the particular action. Okay, so that you can do. And then checked option. For example, if you have checked for jazz also, that would be taken into account. Okay, if you have selected rock, that option would be selected. Okay, right? So here we will have like form action example.com/profile, paragraph tag, please select your favorite genre. Okay, and then you close with the BR tag. What is BR tag close?
Break.
Immediately break. Immediately go to the next line. Okay, and then the input type is actually radio. What is the meaning? It is actually a radio button.
Right.
So name genre, value rock. Okay, so this one rock. Okay, checked is you can. What is the meaning of checked? Checked.
Yes.
You can actually check it. You can check it. Okay, and similarly, input type radio, name, genre, value pop. Okay, and then this is actually pop. Okay, input type radio, name, genre, value jazz. Okay, so you can check whatever you want to. Okay, and then you close with a paragraph tag, close with a form tag. Right, so this is what they say at the beginning, like you have like rock, pop and jazz. No option will be selected. No option will be selected. But if you have selected one option, means to change to another option, maybe you can change. Maybe in the beginning it will be rock, pop, jazz. No option selected. But if you have chosen rock by mistake, if you have chosen rock, okay, you cannot unselect it. You cannot unselect it. But you can change from rock to jazz or maybe jazz to pop. That's the thing. Okay. Then you have the checkbox. Checkbox you can unselect it. Checkbox you can unselect it. But radio button you cannot unselect it.
Want to select one.
Maybe if I choose not to select it, I can leave it. But if I have selected it, I should choose one of the three.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
this case, we can unselect it. If I don't want iTunes also, I can you can leave it. Okay, right. So this is the checkbox. You'll have like type equal to checkbox. You can select it or maybe unselect it also, and you have like name. Okay. So name attribute is nothing but the name which you are going to send it to the user. Okay. And then you have the value attribute also. So the value which is sent to the user if this checkbox is checked, and then checked is actually the option which you have selected. Okay. So here you have form action example.com/profile, the paragraph tag, please select your favorite music service. Then you close the BR, input type equal to checkbox, name equal to service, value is equal to iTunes, checked. Okay, this is iTunes, and then input type checkbox, name equal to service, value is last.fm. Okay, and then input type equal to checkbox, name, service, value, it is Spotify. So here this iTunes is actually selected. Okay, so here the advantage is that you can unselect it also.
Yeah. And also we can select more than one.
You can also select more than one. Maybe I can select iTunes, last.fm, Spotify, three of the thing I can select. So this is the drop down list box. You will have like a select attribute where you can select one of the above options. Okay, then you have like name attribute, the name of the form control that is being sent to the user, and then you have the option attribute to specify the options the user can select the form from, and then you have the value that that is being sent to the server, and then you have selected option. So just like checked option, you have selected option, you can select one of the above. So which option that is being selected?
Maybe select your country. Select your
So here form action will have example.com/profile, and then what device do you listen to music on? Okay, close the paragraph tag, select name equal to devices, the option value it's iPod. Okay, and then you have radio, and then you have computer. Okay, and then you close the select, close the form. So here actually radio is actually selected. Okay, that is actually the selected attribute. Then finally the submit button. So here within the form action you will have this one, and then paragraph tag, subscribe to our email list. Okay, you close the paragraph tag, input type the text. Okay, name is actually email. Okay, so input is actually the text. Okay, you can enter the email. Okay, that is only the email it accepts. So something xxxx at xyz.com. Okay, the easiest way to actually trick the computer is that normally everybody will be entering like email ID. For example, dr.christoananth@gmail.com. Maybe after some time, what I thought, why to enter my email ID? I decided to write xyz@xyz.com. It subscribes. It subscribes. Okay, so that also you can do. Okay, so and finally value equal to subscribe, and you close the form. So this is how you go with the subscribe. Okay, so the type is actually the submit, name is actually the name attribute, it does not need to have one, and then value is nothing but the value that is being sent to the server. So this is the full example of forms. You start with the HTML tag, start with the head tag, you have the title. So forms is actually the browser window heading. Okay, then you have the close head tag, then you start with the body tag. Form action is equal to the website. Okay, the link. Okay, then you have a field set, legend, your details. Close the legend, start with the label, the name. Now you specify the type, text, name is actually name, size is 30, maximum length is equal to 100. So maximum length 100 only you are specifying. Now you close the label, then you close the now BR tag. Now again you go open with the label tag, you go with the email. Same thing you are doing. Okay, size 30, maximum length 100. You close the label tag, close the BR tag, again close the field set tag, close the BR tag. Once again you start with another field set, legend, your review. Then you close with the legend. Then you have a paragraph tag, that's a label you specify, how did you hear about us. Then you close with the label tag. Now you have the select name, the referrer. You go with the option value Google, it's actually Google, friend, advert and other. Then you close with the select tag, close the paragraph tag. Then again in the paragraph, would you visit again. Okay, now in the yes and no you specify the radio button. Okay, whether it is yes or no, or maybe. Then you have label for comments also, where you enter the comments. Finally you will have a checkbox, sign me for email updates. Then you go with the slash label slash br, the input type, the submit review, close the field set tag, close the form tag, close the body tag, and close the HTML tag. So finally in the output you will have this one. So in the forms you will see in the browser window, the title is actually the forms, your details, the name, email ID. So this is actually a text that you enter. This everything has a maximum limit. You cannot enter more. Also in the email you should write only in this format, xyz@xyz.com. So that format it should be.
If it's not with this structure, it will not enter. Yeah. Yes. If I don't with.
You have to correctly enter the name. Correctly enter the name as well as email. Okay, but for the subscription you can enter anything.
To enter email, we should enter correctly.
For this one you should enter correctly. But for subscription you can enter anything. Like abc@abc.com. You can enter like this, no problem. I do this one many times. Okay, and your review, how did you hear about us? You can select Google or something, whatever. And this is the checkbox, yes, no, maybe. Then you have a comments, the text box that also has a limit. Okay, and then this is a checkbox, sign me for email updates, and then this is the finally the submit button, submit review.